Hi, you guys. Welcome to my show, The Ranting Shop. Today we're going to be discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 1. Okay, now, before I even go into this episode and this new season, we left off Season 2 with the Scots and the Holts at odds for reasons that had to do with rumors, or maybe it did happen, I'm not sure, of infidelity on the part of Marceau and on the part of Martel. They didn't want their mess out on the streets. They felt like they were being exposed, and they got defensive and became kind of maybe a little bit mean on social media. And that is what the source of their disagreements were. So that is, and also the Holts, their marriage seemed to have been reconciling in the beginning of season 2. However, because of Martel's actions, allegedly, they are heading for divorce. So in this season, we're gonna be seeing everything that is happening in the Holt's lives as far as the divorce is concerned. So we learned that Melody has moved to Atlanta. Now, she's originally based in Huntsville. That's where the show is based. Huntsville, Alabama. She lived with her husband Martel. They have 3 children and a recent baby, so 4. And she's learned of things and from Martel that she doesn't quite agree with. She has put up with it at some point and moved past it, but at this point she doesn't feel like she should continue to just forgive and forgive and forgive as he goes out and does as he pleases. So Melody has moved to her brother's place. I'm guessing temporarily, and she's telling him about like what's going on, why she's divorcing her husband, and the fact that she's had enough of, she didn't say it, but the infidelity, and she just feels like at this point that's the only option. So we move over to Martel. Okay, and as I'm telling you guys, I am sort of doing something in chronological order, but I don't want to do it that way. But Martel meets with his mom. He's telling his mom, me and Melody are gonna get divorced. She's surprised, and she's telling him basically, well, it's your fault because you already told me you stepped out. I spoke to you about it, and then you continued to step out even after I spoke to you. So it's essentially your fault, and you caused it. And like the theme for this whole episode is basically Martel trying to get allies. He's trying to get people on his side. He's trying to ensure that people are with him and are supporting his decisions when nothing he did is justifiable or defendable. So I'm not understanding him. It seemed like this whole episode he was trying to get people to be on his side and to get people to be against Melody, so to speak, when he's the one that messed up and did the thing that was wrong. I'm not understanding where this is coming from. This is crazy to me. And people are calling him narcissistic. I do see narcissistic tendencies from Martel. He did the wrong, but now he's looking for all sorts of justifications to right the wrong that he did, and nothing can justify you cheating on your wife multiple times. And it's not even a one-off cheating situation. He's been cheating on his wife for years in their marriage. And now that your wife has finally decided that she's had enough of it, and people are coming down on you, and that they should because you did something wrong, you're feeling defensive. Like, oh, but Mel did bad things too. Come on, that's childish. Sit in your wrong and take it because you did something that is beyond disgusting, and you did it multiple times, and she took you back, and you continued to cheat. And then the nerve of him. But anyways, Martel, is wanting sympathy from his mom, is wanting his mom to be on his side, but she's not. She's holding him accountable as she should, and she's telling him, I cannot basically I can't defend you, and I have to support Mel because she's not done anything to deserve what you've done to her. And she's trying to tell him, sorry, to basically, you kind of broke her family because she sees Martel's family as her family. So, anyways, Martel, I said this in my notes, is trying to blame Melody for all the things that he did. If you've seen interviews, like I will insert the interview he did with Dr. Heavenly shortly, but if you have heard of interviews, he's trying to put everything on Melody. He's putting out all their business affairs and saying that she didn't perform for him sexually, and she didn't do certain things that he needed her to do. And I remember last season she said that she did do these things that he said she wasn't doing, and in this particular season he justifies it. He says, yes, she did do certain things sexually for me, but I guess he says certain things, other things she didn't do, I don't know. But that has to be embarrassing for Melody. Your husband is putting out all you guys' sexual business on the internet, and his justification is that she's been putting their business out on social media, and I don't quite agree with that. I don't think she's ever put out their business on social media, and if she did, it was nothing explicit or nothing specific or nothing that would out him or speak of him negatively. But he's doing that now. I think if you cheated on her and she feels like she needs to rant, I completely understand it. Maybe not rant to social media, but I understand if she does. I mean, you're angry and you want to vent. But anyways, the point of the matter is he's blaming Melody for their marriage's demise. Okay, but he's not really holding himself accountable. And he's not sitting in that shame. He's not wanting to sit in that blame. He's not wanting to sit in that wrong. He's just looking for ways to get out of it. No, sit in it. You did that to yourself. But anyways, Maso and Tisha, we go to them. They discuss the fact that, since the C-19 virus, it's now out, and the children need to be homeschooled for their safety, and she's just trying to get them adjusted to I guess online learning and stuff like that. And Masu is talking about him needing and wanting an assistant in his wife, and that she's not there for him like she used to be. And when she was there, everything was moving smoothly, and whatever the case may be. They've been talking about this since last season. He wants his wife back to being the wife with the typical wife role. Take care of the children, take care of me, and let me go out and be the breadwinner. She doesn't really want to do that. She also wants to get her degrees and get her own job and be self-sustainable. But they're going back and forth about that. They were having a little bit of an argument. He's saying he wants an assistant and may hire one, so she's saying she may need an assistant and may hire one. And so they're just being petty back and forth. Destiny is somewhat of a new addition to their cast. We got introduced to her last season, as Melody's friend, or as the Holt's good friend. We come to learn that she's really Martel's friend first, and then got to be Mel's friend like later on. So Martel is going to her, talking about Mel again, trying to get another ally in Destiny. But what he doesn't understand is that females will never defend a male that cheated on his wife. When will he ever get this through his skull? Like, if you want somebody to defend you and your disgusting behavior, perhaps speak to a single male. I'm pretty sure they will side with you. But you're going to females, that are married or were married or were with cheaters. You're going to them to defend you. No, they will not. They will not. So he's going to Destiny and thinking that because they have this long friendship that she would side with him. And she's looking at him crazy, as she should, because he is. She would never defend you and your disgusting behavior. So stop looking for people to agree with you and be on your side and defend you, because I don't believe no good person would. But anyways, so he's telling Destiny, right, that Melody has done all this cheating and that is what caused him to cheat. Are you serious, Martel? I don't believe him one bit. If you guys know, last year, I don't know what time last year, Martel did an interview with Dr. Heavenly. Now, if you know Married to Medicine, you know Dr. Heavenly. She has a show on YouTube. And he decided to go on there and give his side of the story. And his side of the story was basically bashing his wife and saying that she did certain things to him that made him cheat. That's basically what his stance was. And in my opinion, that's absolutely disgusting. How could you do that to your wife? You're putting all your personal business out on the streets for people to scrutinize. And talking about sexual things that are personal. Anyways, I will insert this here so you could listen to the disgusting things that Mr. Martel was saying about his wife.
And that's what I've done ever since the beginning. She's had my back on a lot of things, which I appreciate. But, it's come to the point where you're dragging me. And it's not cool. Considering everything that I've done for this family, for her personally, and things of that nature. It's been tough.
So you're saying that Melody cheated initially. She cheated before you did.
It's so crazy. I can't say that for a fact that she cheated before me. She cheated years ago, before we started filming the show. But honestly, like I tell her, I feel that before I started cheating, I feel that she cheated before me only because she stopped having sex with me. She stopped performing like she normally would. Only thing, she would say is, I'm tired. I'm like, I understand like that you're tired, but like I used to tell her, like, baby, I'm bringing home the money. I said, you don't have to go to this meeting. You don't have to go to this function. You don't have to do that. Put me first. Those are some of the conversations I used to have to her. And, even though I never set her down having a meeting saying like, hey, you need to make sure you satisfy me. No, it's more like passive communication. Like, hey, sweetheart, like, hey, don't want to have sex. Like, just take care of your husband. This probably something they should say. And then I remember this one particular day, she was supposed to have, we were supposed to went to a barbecue or something like that. And she was in the bed, kind of got into it or something like that. And she was in the bed, opening up her computer, knocking the bag, and she's about to go to Instagram. And she told me, go find your girlfriend. She told me, go find your girlfriend. I still remember that vividly. And that night, that's when I met the mistress, right? So it's
so wait a minute. Do you know if she cheated, or are you speculating? Has she admitted to cheating?
Yeah. She's admitted. Yeah. She admitted to cheating. Yeah.
Once. Now, Martel, most people don't take women.
No, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would say most men don't take women back for cheating. Women take men back all the time. But what made you stay?
All right, say that one more time.
I said, what made you stay after she cheated? Because most men are out. You know what I mean? They can't take it.
So at the time, no, I didn't know. She told me this. She told me this later on. And then for her to, like this day and time, she would say that I kept forgiving you for the things that you did. And then I would say, now that I know that she cheated on me, I'm like, well, you was probably slacking in certain areas because you was, seeing someone else.
She has said that it wasn't true this season and when she came on the live after he made these allegations. Martel visits Tisha and Marceau. Now, if you know about last season, these two households, families, former business partners, and friends were at odds. They were even about to come to blows last season. And it was Mel and Martel against Tisha and Marceau. As I said before, the source of their disagreements were because of rumors that each of them spread about each other that may or may not have been true, but either ways, none of the parties wanted it to be public knowledge. So that was the source of their disagreements. So now that Mel and Martel are having a divorce, Mr. disloyal Martel is now going back to their enemies, the Scots, to reconcile the beef. Yet now this man is saying that Mel was the one that was telling him things, negative things about the Scots, and that is the reason why he was coming at them so aggressively. And then Tisha says to him, no, well, you tried to break up our marriage by insinuating that Marceau was cheating with 20 women. And he's saying that, well, that's in the past. He hopes to reconcile. Most of it was Mel's fault. She's the one that was telling me all these things. And whatever the case may be. So he's blaming Mel again and hoping to reconcile now that they're divorcing. Anyways, Mel comes into town from Atlanta. She visits her friend Destiny. Her friend Destiny is telling her about some situations in her marriage where her husband, Laderick, the strangest name I've ever heard, Laderick, is not helping her and seems like he's checked out of the marriage. Melody, even while she's getting a divorce, is telling her like this is way too soon to be happening. Like me and Martel were good for a number of years before he started cheating, I guess. Okay, so she is dreading going to see Martel. So because that's why she came. That's why she came to Huntsville. It was to check Martel. They were discussing custody and whatever the case may be. So she goes over to the house. It seemed like they had already discussed certain things. Everything was spoken out. Everybody had agreed to certain things. All of a sudden, it appears that Martel wants to change his mind on certain things. And she's not understanding where this change of mind is coming from. He said he's seen things in this divorce that he doesn't agree with, like homeschooling. And he says to counter that, he has decided that he wants full custody. That's dirty, Martel. You're playing very, very dirty, Martel. I cannot respect this, Martel. What are you doing? You want full custody? Because he wants his children to be in one household. You're the reason why they're not in one household. You're the one who cheated and forced Miss Melody to have to divorce or get a divorce from you. So why are you punishing her, in a sense, for your disgusting behavior? I'm not understanding, right? The whole episode, it's seeming as if he wants to punish his wife because he's saying his wife is putting all their business out and making him look like the bad guy. So now he wants to defend himself by bashing his wife. How about take the higher road and treat your soon-to-be ex-wife with respect? I feel like she has a right to be angry with you because you cheated on her. She's going to be mad. But at this point, I feel like you're unable to sit in your behavior and now you want to bash her. And I just feel like that's disgusting. But one thing I failed to mention was with the Scots. They said that they feel as if, mostly Marceau, feels as if the reason why the Holts are getting a divorce or Melody is getting a divorce is because now the situation is public. And if it was private, she would remain in the marriage. Now, for me personally, I don't know. I cannot tell you whether what they're speaking is true or false. But if we look at the past behavior, she has stayed when he's cheated before. And it's not like he's cheated one time. He's been cheating continuously. And she's stayed in the marriage. She's kept it moving. It might be because her relationship with Martel is now publicized and people are scrutinizing him and people are expecting her to leave. That could be the reasons. I'm not saying it is. It could be. Because I feel like with the public influence, they force you to really check yourself sometimes, and they force you to really wake up and see that you don't have to accept this. Because it's very easy to stay in something when you're not seeing from an outside perspective what you're looking like. You're looking dumb for staying. You stayed and he still cheated. So what's the point in continuing to stay? So in certain regards, I don't feel like getting divorced because people are showing you or making you see that the situation looks dumb to even remain in. I don't see that as a bad thing. I feel like what it does is it allows you to further be introspective and see what you're allowing, see what you're accepting into your space. Is it making you happy? Is it fulfilling you to stay in that situation for this long? It's kind of, I don't feel like it made her make her decision. I feel like it forced her to look at the situation and to look at her life and realize that it doesn't make sense for her to continue to stay in a situation as toxic as her marriage has become. It doesn't make sense. So as a result, she should leave. And if it takes the public and people to tell her that, for her to see, then I think that's a good thing. Because I feel like for some people, they need to be told about themselves. They need to be the situation is almost like it needs to be put in front of their faces for them to see how ridiculous it is. And I believe that it is a blessing because Martel is showing himself to be the most disgusting person I've ever seen in my life. He has no problems with going low. If it means that it justifies him and lets him off. But what he doesn't understand is that the way people are perceiving him is not in a positive light. And that does not make us look at him any differently than how we previously looked at him. In fact, it makes us look at him with more disgust. Because it's like, wow, now I understand why she's divorcing you. Because you're truly disgusting. To say what he said on Dr. Heavenly's live and still be married to him, you now look like an idiot. You now look like a fool. That marriage is doomed. Okay? Set in stone. Everything is, because now, if you guys don't know, for a while we've known that he was with this other woman, Arion, for a while during their marriage. I heard 5 years. Could have been more during their marriage. So he practically had another relationship while he had a wife. And apparently, he's been sleeping with her unprotected and he has a wife. That's reckless. And he's gotten her pregnant. So now she's pregnant. And I feel like at this point, she's probably given birth already. Or close to giving birth. And he's denying the child. He's denying the relationship. He's denying everything to do with Arion. It's just about the public perception for Martel. Probably and Melody too. So at this point, I don't feel like she should go back. and she's not going to go back. I feel like it is what it is. The marriage is done, and for this episode. And stay tuned for reviews from the next episode. And as always, have a wonderful day, and see you next time on the Ranting Shop. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you like hearing what I have to say, and of course share what you have to say below in the comment section. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful time. Bye bye.